try something here. It's a total crapshoot, a total experiment. I have no idea if it will work. I have not researched this or followed any kind of tutorials, but I thought it was worth a try. So I ultimately end up with a bunch of candles that are kind of, some are burnt down to nubs. Others are ones that I just really don't burn too much anymore. And I thought, well, maybe I could take the wax and melt the wax down and combine it with some citronella oil to make a bug repelling candle for my deck. Like I said, no idea if this is going to work or not, but we're going to give it a try. What I have here is a little saucepan. This one is non-stick, which I think we're going to want for sure. I have an old, I think this is probably a 1.5 cup or 2 cup mason jar, 500 ml mason jar maybe, I'm not sure, but about that size. I've got citronella oil. This oil is called Bug Be Gone, and it's actually made by Sapphire Blue. Sapphire Blue is a company that operates just outside of Tillsonburg, over almost by where Tilson View Fairways is. This has got definitely citronella in it as well, but there's something else, not sure. It smells nice anyway. I'm going to combine those two, but you could just use citronella if you have that. I've also heard people using tea tree oil, peppermint oil, and I'm going to take my candles. Now, of course, we are going to need a wick for this. So this is a longer candle. What I'm going to try to do is shave the wax off of this so I can keep the wick. Again, no idea if this is going to work, but what I am going to do is I'm going to put my little bits of candles in there, wick and all. This one I'm going to start sort of slicing a little bit, maybe. It's not going to be pretty, but you just want to get the wax off. There we go. And these are just unscented candles. They don't have a smell particularly. Okay. Now it's going to take quite a bit of wax, I think, to fill up this jar here. So I don't even know if with the candles that I have here, if I have enough. This one here, I just broke in the middle. I don't want to cut particularly the wick. Let's see here. Try and shave off little bits without damaging that wick. There's the wick inside. Once I get it to a small enough point, it can go in our little saucepan. And then we're going to put this over like a medium heat, and we're going to stand with like a toothpick or a shish kebab skewer. We're going to stir it until everything is thoroughly melted. And then those other wicks that are in there, I'm going to just remove those. Then what we're going to try and do, we don't have to do this, I just thought was curious to see if it would work. I'm going to add like 1 drop of orange food coloring because everything on my patio this year is orange, and I thought, oh, why not? So I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to keep working away at this, and I will check back with you when I've got the wax all chopped up and in my bowl. Okay, so I got all my candles chopped up, and I was able to salvage quite nicely, actually, the wick from that tall candle. So as you can see, what I've done is I left actually the end that was, you know, the end that you would normally light, so it's got a little bit of a stump there. I have tied it to a pencil, and I have suspended it so that it is just sitting on the bottom of my jar that I am going to use. Moving over to the stove, there's our wax. It's on like a very low heat right now. You don't want to boil it, you just want to melt it. And got a little skewer here, so I'm just kind of giving it a stir occasionally to melt those pieces. I probably going to have to do the last little bit of wax that's still on my cutting board separately, just because I think I've got too much going on in here in this pot. It's not a very big saucepan. We're going to keep stirring. When this is totally melted, we're going to add our essential oil, and we're going to try and add our coloring, and then we're going to very carefully try and pour it without making a huge mess into our jar. So that will be the biggest kind of experiment. You can see there are, some of the wicks are coming out, that's fine. I'm just gonna pick those out with tweezers, and so that we have just wax is our mixture. Okay, be back soon. Okay guys, so our wax is fully melted on the stove in our little saucepan here. I've done my best to remove any impurities out of that, any little bits of wick. There's probably still a couple things in there, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it. This is just a candle for the deck. So again, I've got our little stump, which was actually the lighting end of the candle, attached to the wick rather. I've tied that around a pencil, and I'm just going to suspend it in the middle of our jar, well, off to the side technically for now. Now this is what I don't know about. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try 1 drop of orange food coloring to see if it mixes. I don't even know if it will. No. It does not appear that the orange food coloring wants to incorporate, and that's fine. No big deal. However, we know that our oils will incorporate. Right, so how much essential oil should we use? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to say maybe about 30 drops. You want it to be strong enough that it's actually going to do what you want it to and deter the bugs. You can definitely smell that. Okay, and because I have it, I'm going to add some of this Bug Be Gone mixture from Sapphire Blue as well. This is a fragrance oil. This is not an essential oil, so it's a little different. It smells nice. It smells, I think it's going to be strong enough to do the trick when we're outside on our deck. Now, the part that I am less sure about is getting that wax into this jar without making a gigantic mess. Oh boy. Leap of faith, I guess? Ooh, I just feel like this is going to be a huge mess. Here we go. Okay, little bit of spillage, not too bad. Not too bad at all, really. Does smell nice. I think I might throw a little bit more citronella oil in here while it's still nice and liquid. So probably about 40 drops of citronella oil that we've used for this. Okay, really not too bad at all. A little slop down the side, but that's okay. Nothing that a little stint in the fridge won't fix. So our wick has now been positioned right in the middle of our candle. Smells really good. Bring you over so you can see. So I spilled a little bit, but not too bad considering. And there's our wick tied to our pencil. And the little stumpy part is down the bottom. You can barely see it. So yeah, we're just gonna let that harden up. We'll try and scrape that wax off the side once it's hard. And then we'll have to give it a burn test and see how we do. Okay guys, we are done. It is solidified. You can see interestingly, you can see the food coloring that we added that did not want to blend into the wax. It just settled right in the very bottom. That's fine. We're just going to remove the pencil from our wick. All right, and I'll grab a pair of scissors here. It smells really nice too. I'm going to leave a good amount of wick on that. And there you have it. It smells excellent. Now, I know probably something that you guys are going to ask about is how did I clean the little saucepan that had all the wax and stuff in it? So the easiest thing to do with that is as soon as you take it off the heat, get it into your freezer and let it sit there for half or 3/4 of an hour until it's completely frozen. When you take it out, give it a little tap on your counter, on your cutting board, and the wax will just pop right out, and you can just give it a nice wash under a hot tap with some soapy water, because you definitely don't want any of that citronella oil lingering on your pan. So you just want to make sure you get it really, really clean. So let's light this up. See how we burn. Okay, burning just fine. So I'm going to give this the real test tonight. I really don't have a lot of bugs actually in my backyard, but I do notice around 9:30 at night the odd mosquitoes. So tonight when I'm sitting out on my deck, if the weather is still cooperating at that point, I'm going to give this a light up, and we're going to see how it works. But it really, I mean, it smells so nice. I love the smell of citronella. I know some people can kind of take it or leave it, but I think it smells really great. So there you go. It can be done with a mason jar and some old junky candles. So I hope you've enjoyed this random, very spur of the moment little video, and let me know if you do anything like this. You could also, guys, if you don't want to do Bug Be Gone essential oil type scents, you can use any essential oil you have. Lavender would be beautiful in something like this. You could light it and have it in your bedroom for a few minutes before you go to bed. It would fill the air with a really nice smell. Citrus is beautiful, especially in the kitchen. If you cook with fish or onions or garlic, anything that's citrus helps take those smells out of your kitchen. So let me know if you decide to try this and how your project turned out. Take care. Bye.